A kiss would have been nice, but that's okay. I want him to feel comfortable. He's very old school, and actually that's what I love about him, because I'm used to always having guys asking for kisses and more.
Are you like...
You know what? The first and foremost, when he picked her up from the airport, right? The vibe that I got instantly was that he sees this woman as a friend. I mean, fair enough, he bought her a plant, something that obviously that she likes, she requested, which is fantastic. It's something that you can consider to be romantic and also very thoughtful. But the way he approached her with just his body language, for me personally, I was like, yeah, he's not at that romantic level just yet. He's not even at that level where, you know, where he knows that he wants to claim her as his actual woman, which therefore leads on to this next part.
Like official or maybe something in between, or...
Oh, we are just nice friends.
Or not. We're coming all the way from Orlando here for a friend.
I'm kidding, we are married. My ring is in the car.
Here's the thing. I know that there's a video circulating online, okay, of him on YouTube, and he's done comedy in the past. And she also says that she's aware that he likes to make jokes, okay? I guess it's a bit like Iggy. Just likes to make jokes or likes to downplay things. But at the end of the day, the delivery and also the facial expression tells me this was nothing but seriousness, okay? He does not see this woman as his girlfriend this year. That's why he wouldn't give her a kiss at the airport. That's why even when she was giving him a long-ass hug, for him, he was making comments about it. You know, now he wasn't making comments in a negative way, but he was already commenting about the hug. You know what I mean? That says a lot to me personally, because to be honest with you, if I'm meeting a woman that I'm interested in and she's hugging me, I'm not thinking about saying anything. I'm embracing that hug. If anything, if I am going to say something, it's definitely going to be something flirtatious. You see what I'm saying? And most importantly, if a woman wants to hug me like that, you know the lips are coming out without a shadow of a doubt. But he showed none of these traits, none of this energy. Nor did he show any energy of being shy. So therefore, we can't sit and say, oh, maybe he was shy and maybe he didn't know how to react. No. This is a man that is definitely confident in his own skin in terms of his ability to be able to, you know, make the right moves towards a woman. But she believes that his actions are because of the fact that he's old school. You know, he's a man that likes to do things in a certain way, and that's why she's going to be more than happy to allow him to lead, and therefore, hopefully, it's going to lead into them having kisses. It's kind of crazy because these two have been talking for about 4 months, I believe, and she was like, I hope that when I get there, he's going to propose to me. To be fair, the fact that she's even on the wavelength of where she thinks he may want to propose to her tells me that the conversations that these two have been very, very romantic, as well as very, very also flirtatious. Unless she's just bonkers and just thought, hey, this guy's gonna propose to me because he's nuts. You know what I mean? Either way, though, 4 months proposal is still nuts. But I'm just saying, for her to even think that's gonna be a possibility, that tells you all you need to know. I think it's been 4 months. It could be more, but it is what it is.
A little bit awkwardness at the cooking class because I said that we are just friends.
Obviously, she took it as offense, but I think it's fair standpoint.
You see? There he says it was a joke, but here he says, oh, but I think it's a fair standpoint. So he knows he wasn't joking. He just was back in the corner. But here's the thing, though. Why doesn't he communicate that with her? I don't know why communication always has to be an issue when it comes to this show, you know? But it's crazy, though, because I understand that if they were just friends, there's no way. Well, I would like to imagine there was no way that she was going to travel from the States all the way to see him, knowing that something romantic may not even happen. I mean, to be fair, it's 90 Day Fiancé, so to be fair at the same time, maybe she would have, because we all remember what happened with Kimberly, right? Kimberly traveled all the way to Zanzibar to be the super fan for Usman, you know? And yeah, that was nuts. Nuts upon stable, and honestly, that definitely told us a lot about Kimberly's character, the fact that she was willing to go all the way to another country to meet a man that hadn't even claimed her. A man that told her that we are just friends. And she was under the impression that Superfan was going to turn into something else. The woman went and booked a freaking honeymoon suite, if you all remember that. That was nuts. Now, I would like to think that Vanja's got a bit more, you know, a bit more about herself, you know what I mean? She's got a bit more respect to herself, that she wouldn't travel somewhere to just be friends with somebody, do you see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, he would have definitely said things in their conversations that would have made her feel confident enough to want to travel, because he made it feel as if he saw them more than just a friend.
But I also don't want to make a huge step into the dark, not knowing if there is romantic chemistry there.
Listen, the thing is though, right? I don't have an issue with the way he wants to go about things in terms of the fact that he really wants to see if he can actually establish a romantic connection. I think that's cool. But you have to communicate it. But we know straight away that this guy communication is not good, which is why technically she should run, because this guy clearly is somebody that likes to be deceitful. Because one, he didn't tell her that he still lives with his mom. Two, he didn't tell her that he doesn't have a job. Three, he didn't tell her that this whole basketball career that he had was basically semi-professional and he wasn't really earning that much money in the first place. So we already know that there's three things there off the bat that, my apologies, that he has not been truthful about. And then also on top of that, number 4, which is kind of different, we also know that, we also know that he obviously went quiet on her at one point because he wanted to go pursue a relationship with somebody else, but then came back, okay? Which is cool, whatever, do your thing, okay? But at the same time, though, how can you tell me you trust a man who's giving you all these things so far? Oh, yeah, that's it. And number 5, when she was at the airport and she was trying to ring him, he wouldn't answer his phone. He didn't answer his phone before she got on the flight in the States. Then she had to keep ringing him multiple times when she got to Frankfurt waiting for the connecting flight. So many signs, 5 signs right there of why she should not be in this position and why she should have never flew and saw him in the first place. You know what I mean? None of these signs showed that obviously he was going to treat her as a friend, but all these signs showed her that there's nothing about him that is truthful, that he likes to just say things for the sake of saying things. Because he clearly doesn't care about how it's going to impact other people. He's thinking more about himself than he's thinking about the impact he's making on her life. And the fact that she is choosing, yes, she's choosing to be blind to this man's madness is crazy to me. Because for a woman that has been single for what? Was it 7, 8, 9 years? Or 6 years? Whichever years it was. The fact that she's been single for that long and also been celibate that long probably because she said that she's basically got a dry camel or whatever the phrase was anyway, right? You would think somebody that's been single for that long, who obviously would have had, different guys approach her within that timeline that she's obviously turned down and obviously said no to, blah, 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 blah. You would think her senses and her sense of mind and a common sense would be there. So I do wonder how she's actually managed to be single for such a long time without any guys coming in her life and wooing her. Because let's be real, there would have been plenty of guys in the States and wherever she lives within the States, or even the place that she's traveled, that would have been better than him when it comes to just them as a person in terms of the fact that they would have had a job, they would have been living in their own space potentially, you know what I mean? They would have just brought more security to the table. And a lot of these guys would have said how they feel and made abundantly clear what their intentions are. This guy is given her none of this stuff. So how the hell was she survived? That's what I want to know. Because now it's not mathing. The way she's moving, the way she's behaving, is not making sense of how she's been single for this long. Ah, dear Lord. Nonetheless, though, let me know your thoughts and we'll talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.